睇嘢啦，嚟啊，要嚟啊！我知啦。嗱，應該試咗隊友開始加1分嘅，我唔記得咗。你 around 10名就會加1分。
They went into nut. The nut. I'm gonna watch west. I'm watching west.
俾人 Q 中我，之後我 Q 好撚煩啊！
緩速啊嘛，
打中啊！
因為
開到你，開到。
好撚力哇！叻！
冇，佢哋 OK，佢哋係7分。
係我哋望得係我叻。
個主辦方。OK，呢波捱得過，可以屌撚住啊！屌撚住啊，車聲。想瞓覺啊！雖然我驚會睇唔過癮，但係 TSM 一路剪壓都一個好。
Drop it. Hold it right.
佢啲聲都唔理喎。
Walk up, Evan. Walk up.
打緊本書嘅時候先聽到 drop 嘅。哇，3分。
I don't know where his teammates are. I'm peeking the bridge. Right side, Horizon. I no wrecked him. There's two on the right. Okay. We have to kill you guys on the right. The nut team's staring at us. Swing the back. Should we swing the back together? Hey, wait a minute. We have to kill you. Swing the back and kill them in 1 minute. Yep. We have 3 evac stars after this. With you guys. Yep. I'm gonna queue over, okay? Yep. For a scan.
好撚 delay 啊！佢 Q 起咗先話 I'm gonna queue up okay。70 on one. Oh, 20 on one. Reloading. Last guy. Okay. 啊唔好氣啊！屌我推人死咗以為實晒。
佢加幾多分？
加到，我唔記得咗睇咪先。加幾多分啦？
佢 Hell 嗰陣時係一個殺2個組。
一殺2座。啊！佢殺咗隊嘢都，應該夠啊，應該夠。
唔係排名嗰度，我唔知點解嘅。
應該有2分，我唔記得咗。我哋知冠軍排名係12分，擊殺分都重要佢，擊殺分推擊殺分都係1個頭1分。歸極都係俾得分。
It was a surprise how that zone pulled because now everyone is desperately trying to force their way in. Well, the one team who wasn't surprised by it, the team that dropped a barometer, Oxygen, they were well aware. And the other team that's in the perfect position right now is Dark Zero. Dark Zero who are 8 points away from match point. It might not only be TSM who are there for the next game. Dark Zero got a chance. They have an opportunity. They need 8 points, like you say, to close out. And hit match point. Well, Zainu with a 30-30 might be able to add 1. They're going to send on this, so why wouldn't you? Yeah, you can isolate this fight with the Dark Veil. Toxic Gaming on the receiving end, and they get eliminated as Dark Zero now find themselves 5 away from match point. And not only that, they now own the entirety of the western side of this circle. They can hold off. They can play patient. They should get an easy route to top 3. How much control Dark Zero have right now? Everybody else has to walk through each other.
佢其實同邊個進隊一樣嘅聲，佢爭2分啫嘛總分。
斌都打得唔差。上年斌把Creeper 好撚準。
好再見紅風啊今年。
LG。
The other squads, of course, LG Chivas and Exet, you can see on your screen, they've got to arrive from the northern side. It's going to be the most difficult situation for those two squads, because not only have they got to fight each other, but then they're going to get griefed by Oxygen and NRG, and then eventually Dark Zero. Rolling Thunder coming down, you can see that on the right-hand side of your screen. LG trying to force their way forward. Exet just trapped inside of that bunker and trying to take this fight right now. Surprising, LG zone starts to close very, very soon though. LG know what they're gonna do. Just hold. Make sure that Exet cannot escape. And don't take too much damage while you do it. However, they have to expend the exhibit from Seer. The Dark Veil go down from Exet, they're trying to escape. Yeah, all these ults are being used to escape, which means if they even get into the final circle, it's going to be so difficult for them to win. But at the moment, it's about surviving. It's about moving on and trying to avoid this fight as best as you can. But then when you force it, when you are able to isolate it, then you have to dive on it, because otherwise you're just going to get thirded too easily. Digi's going to be important here for fun. Nocturnal sends in the smokes. LG are forced out their little hiding hole. Up into the thinner area above them. The Q is going to be good. And it gets them safe, but now they get that opening door for sending sight. He'll exchange these. LG eliminated another black hole comes in. Then one more is going down. You've got to think Dark Zero.
LG.
Dark Zero just sit pretty, they wait, they're patient,
LG
eliminated.
Oh, Dark Zero
They will be on match point, but what a big fight this is to try and win this game. As Oxygen Esports, they need these points. This is straight 3v3. Vayne is desperately trying to pop that on. Turns to 100. He is going to be able to throw that Rolling Thunder down. Oxygen do have zone here.
Dark Zero 講得太撚靚
Zero
喎
will have to move, but the damage from Dark Zero might be enough for them to have to make the move without too much risk here. Also, Dark Zero have been doing their math. They know they're on match point. They can play this one a little bit more fearless, but a win going into the next map will do wonders for their confidence. At the moment, it's ring around of rosies from these Dark Veils. Where are you going to go? Is it going to be left or right? Height versus zone at the moment. Dark Zero do not want to give up this height without giving out some damage before they do so. But as soon as these Dark Veils expire, that's going to be the signal maybe to push. Here we go.
前啲開場邊應該Dark Zero贏嘅，前啲開場佢哋前有優勢。Oh my god！ 哦，單挑！哦哦。OK，
It's a 2v1 and it should just be easy
好
from
難
here, but the knockdown
喎，
shield
睇
makes
謝波
things a
等啦，
lot
謝
more
波等。
difficult. Zainu goes up onto high. Vayne
謝
left
波
on
等
his
拉
own,
夾啦，啱
trying
啦
to do what he can. It would be
拉
a
到夾佢壓住得啦。
mesmerizing play if he could pull this off.
係啦，
The
等佢拉
chance
埋
at
夾先
time
打。
out.
飛過去。哦哦哦，分場跳。
Send it, Jin.
哦，第一次咯，
靚啊！Dark Zero Oh shit！
Match point achieved for Dark Zero alongside a champion banner.
見到鄭不騰嗰隊都有喎。
係啊，Dark Zero 都有。
The two teams on match point. TSM, the split one playoff winners, and Dark Zero,
TSM
previous
成個鄭不騰
championship
咧。
winners as well. The two teams who have dominated match point tournaments will both have the chance to win this entire thing in the next game. Unbelievable composure from Dark Zero in those final moments, though. Really, really smart.
Alliance 係爭啲咯。
They were the ones who just
Well, yeah,
kept
okay.
that last ult available. The black hole's a difference maker because Oxygen is just trapped. They have to take their attention away from
個 NRG 真係
destroy the
佢
thing.
做乜嘢啊？咁
Otherwise,
嘅
they're dead anyway.
NRG
唔知 JM9 咯。
Zero goes wide.
佢就企位入，我唔知佢幾多時嗰個，但係佢個站位係唔
to convert it into a
靚。
win. And it is so much nicer if they had that knowledge.
跟住飯一齊又唔係咁好
Point
喎，
already, they can be a little bit more
啲分又攞到少。以前嗰啲大熱全部而家冇乜分咁樣。
就係得翻
incredible performance. They're now on 30 points, so
TSM
they
啊，
are
係唔
third
錯。
place at
Dark
the
Zero，
moment.
Dark Zero 都勁
係啊
勁咗好耐。
And it was a circle
勁咗好耐，一直都爭冠軍嗰場咯。
towards them.
都係
It came
勁。
to
就睇
Barometer.
就睇今次
They
嘅
did。pull away, and they were rewarded for it. But for Dark Zero,
我幾想睇鄭不騰
side of the zone
手掣
so
偶像
long。ago, and as soon as they were able to take down Optic Gaming, they owned that side of the map. And from that point, it was just about being patient and allowing everyone to come to them. Amazing stuff from Dark Zero. We now have two teams on match point. And like you say, it's probably the two teams who historically have been picking up those trophies since Apex Legends competitive play started. TSM and Dark Zero now have a chance in this next game, Dan, to lift that trophy, which is just over the balcony in front of us there. And it is going to be Storm Point again as well. And this is probably good news for TSM because if you remember what happened in Split 1 playoffs, it was Storm Point where they won it. It has been Storm Point where they have a much better conversion rate throughout the online season. But Dark Zero, they've got a couple of things tucked up their sleeves as well. They'll be trying to take down TSM here in this next match. Really, really impressive stuff from Dark Zero in that Storm Point game. And I've got to say as well, TSM made a very smart decision to push onto Alliance. I would say that knock from Reps is the difference maker, right? If he doesn't get that, maybe it's a straight 3v3, but one kill, we always say, completely changed the context of a game of Apex Legends. That got them that opening, then they were able to convert, they get those kills, they hit match point, and now we have two teams who can go and win it. For now though, from the Castle's booth, that's going to do us. We're going to set up for our next game by sending it down to Rain Day on the desk.
Thanks so much, Onsen and Gaskin. Great job on the cast. We're here with some analysis on the performances that we have seen so far. Of course, course, presented by PlayStation Tournaments. My name is Randy. I'm here with Glitter, Sabs, Spider Tip, and Dia. I want to break down quickly, though, that final zone because we have 2 teams on match point after 3 games. Sabs, you're joining us on the desk. Walk us through what happened in that final zone to allow Dark Zero to get that clutch. I know she's trying to figure out a little bit of a mic. We're going to toss a little bit over to Glitter as she gets that going. No worries, Sabs. We'll get that fixed up for you. Glitter, Tiff, Dia, I'm going to go with you in a line. Tiff, maybe you kick this off. Talk us through this final zone.
Look, it was so impressive, and I love the utilization of the dark veils to try and buy just Oxygen Esports a little bit more time to heal back.
我50都再高都冇用咧。
過50啲分數都冇嘢好睇，呢100分食唔到雞又點
Was able to really apply so much pressure.
？TSM 同 Dark 都食咗一場雞啊，暫時頭3場裏邊。
We've seen a similar
TSM
circle to this
應該
before,
入
even
到
when
match point，
TSM was able to walk away
殺
with
到
the
幾
lead in
隻，
group
再
stages.
食到
Controlling high
分，
ground as
應該
Dark
啱
Zero
啱
did is
好。
really important. However, importantly, it's also
我上網睇下
not
咪
the
知我
first
一
time
直
that
黑
we've
掉
seen
我睇呢
Oxygen
個
play
睇
things
下
out for the low ground. They
係啊
have done
TSM
this
51分啊
every time that the zone goes over to Cenote,
Oh my
and it's an incredibly powerful
God.
spot for Oxygen to be able to grab early on because
哇！
the
最尾
rotation
嗰下真係
barometer is so
好靚啊！但
simple,
係
and the position that they hold on the
好
low
大差
ground,
距喎。
if I'm honest,
然
is
後
not a winning one.
第
Tip,
3
the
名
fact
嘅得
that
30分
Oxygen
啫，Alliance
played
28分。
from this low ground suggests to me that their journey was more about picking up as many points as possible than it was about getting first.
And that's completely right, right? We have 2 teams now within that
其實
game
都
that
追
have
到
put
嘅。
themselves over that 50-point match
係啦。
threshold, and Oxygen is still 20 points away from being able to do so. So they needed to make sure that they could get as many eliminations because they are rotating in from Barometer, which had 3 zones originally throughout all the gameplay that we've seen before. But this one was different. Just outside.
And Dark Zero had a wonderful game.
無下溝通嗰啲叫做
Especially on
你
John
隊
Burton,
咯。
who was
我睇佢又
lauded
話
as being a
係咪
critical member
先？
of this squad, wasn't able
咩啊？
to
8
play
點
the
啊？
first
8 點
leg
咩？
of the team, but back
你
when
唔
they
知
were
㗎？
champs,
我冇啊，
however,
成日都係晏晝我先見
clearly
到。
been, I mean, an integral part of their season up until now, and
咁我
of this game,
咁我等陣要佢
was
自
able
己
to
食飯。
support the team really effectively.
我想講 AK 有好多
I think the thing
skin
that we
我
need to pay
都
attention to now,
幾
you
中
guys
意
have。mentioned it quite a few times. Going into
但係呢一
this
鋪就係我
series,
用一
we
個
have
詞。
two of the
係啊，所以我
best
諗緊買
land
邊個。
我都多2把啦，唔緊要啦。
on a hot streak right now.
我
Dark
佢
Zero
機㗎嘛。
with those 9 kills.
我費事
OXG
嘥錢買
putting
兩
themselves
個
in
啦
a。really solid spot, starting to get those points on board for quite a few teams actually, but now they all have to play catch up here, Rain, as we take into consideration match point could potentially happen.
All right, Sab, sorry about that. Welcome back. What do you think? These are our results, obviously, in that last game. Anything particular standing out to you as we look at these and then transition into our overall results after 3?
You know, TSM is playing really safe. They started so well, but you know something changed. They got the match point, but
安排下自己嘅
schedule.
schedule。
Right? I mean, at the end of the day, Sab, that's what you want to do. After 2, you're feeling pretty
我
happy.
想
Definitely
翻個大陸
how they
探個
put
靚
it
親咧。
And that is the one team that maybe could
咩啊？
shave off a little bit of the TSM
咁
legacy.
又
It's
唔
the team that
使。
has been competing against their legacy on land. 2 wins for Dark Zero Glitter. They're going for a third here.
Yeah, and you know that not only
目前通啲係未炒過任何，
to get
即係
another
倍感欣
title
慰
under
嘅。
their belt, but now everyone else knows that some of the scariest teams that have the potential to close this out have the opportunity to. Will that change how some of these squads play?
哇！
Now, the only thing that's going to change for me is
呢方面嘅 physics 咗啲
right
啊，
now, I want to score as
即
many
係
points as
太
possible.
勁啦
The
同你。
moment this ends, I want to make sure I'm
My-
thrusting myself up into that prize money. That's for sure.
太
And of course, the other thing that you've got to
其實都幾好人啊
You and I were talking
哇
about this a
哇
bit more in the
冇
training
打過
room
傷
as
啊！
well,
我
but
撲
it's
你
the
個
importance
街
of！ rotations. In
Physiology.
previous times in Apex, we would look at teams on match point and go, maybe you want to commit to a fight with them right off the drop. And in this particular case, as Apex Legends
Fuck
is
you,
doing
咩
well,
波咧？
that's not so
你又
much
要
the
讀
case
econ
at all.
ID
You
到
can
咯
prepare yourself
啱
knowing
啊，
now
讀
where teams
econ 啊
are。dropping. All these
唔
teams
係
have access to it.
econ 啊，係
Sure.
Knowing where a team is coming from and being able to set up
係
and
con 係
upset
咪
their
大 con 啊？
環境嘅
is really powerful and they can be done.
Overall
Wow,
match
ano nito?
standings after 3. 2
One
teams
bro,
on match point. That is TSM
Area
and Dark
free.
Zero. Sabs, thoughts on the teams
係讀英文
standing out to you? It's kind of hard to pick any of those two, but we mentioned APAC South.
仆
to
街
start
仆
us
街，
off.
擋唔住擋唔住！
That there could
屌
be
佢老母！
excuse me, APAC North team that actually
哎呀！
is this winner. Are you seeing anything promising from our APAC squads yet? Or
哎
is it too
呀！
early
你
to tell?
爆
You
撚
know,
咗個人哋個
remember
紙皮做乜
yesterday,
嘢啊？你
they
話
were
你咁
going
多手，
amazing. They were literally running through
爆乜
everything,
嘢？
and I
後嚟啦，終
think
於。
that's what they're gonna do soon. They just warm me up.
You
Okay,
killed
Leia.
that clutch and armory. That
但係
解錯咗你
係呢啲嘢就可以
working out
鄙視。
佢一路真係冇乜興趣。
恭喜你解鎖你嘅鐵牌4啊！開唔開心啊？
我唔係好明後邊係咪接跛咗我？佢點解佢可以講佢鐵牌2升鐵牌
佢鐵牌3？我到而家都唔明。
有乜春啊？
唔緊要啦。
又仲話咩打多幾場就打多3場到就會升翻做銅牌啊嘛。
反向升分啊佢。
我有自己嘢唔使咁搞真。
係。
internship
有邊個 chat room 可以喐到我隻曱甴喐
係又喐，唔知。
光耀卡西米爾需要。
表弟真係有一隻。
梗係我料先。
我曱甴就恐怖啦。
Really game-changing, allowing reps to step into another full form also.
I mean, even thinking back to that last zone that we saw the last time TSM was there, it's Verhulst that turned everything around for them. This player's incredible, and there's nothing more to say.
All right, well, we all know things are happening here live in London, but it's happening tomorrow that you definitely need to pay attention to. One of my favorite things in the Apex Legends universe is the expansion of the stories of the Outlands. This one features Loba, Maggie, and Lifeline, and it's called Kill Code. Part 1. I don't know how many parts there are, but I'm excited that there are maybe more than just this one. Here's a little bit of a sneak peek for you.
OK， 就。小飞棍来咯！
All over the Outlands.
Always exciting, those do so well. Millions of views in a day, and also carrying on the legacy that makes this game so interesting. The narrative team behind Apex is what truly has inspired a lot of the fandom that you see here today, and of course behind us. Okay, one other big thing to mention that I'll tease is that we have some information coming up of a year of competitive play in the ALGS.
I'm gonna 做啲 pre-rec 啊。
and head
on
this stream, so make sure you
wait.
We're gonna go to a quick break, but when we come back, we continue with the best Sunday in esports. That's our match point finals. Herman Miller Gaming is the official
summer term， 哎呀，好煩啊！
哇，仆街4隻。 哎呀，屌你個閪啊！哎呀，漏怪漏到我媽都唔撚認得。
唔得，好撚攰，我瞓覺啦。
拜拜。
希望聽日有好消息啊！
咩好消息啊？
我唔知。
屌你啦！
咁樣講好似型啲咯。我試下 A1 試咗一次消費券。
冇消費券咩？
唔係啊，佢嗰個踢命高嘅消費券肯俾你。你唔好你 in game 貨咁一定得嘅，你 in game 嘅，一定你 in game 貨咁一定。但係你 quota
我係個 quota 就。
你 in game 貨咁你貨去外國。
哎呀 ，in game 課金嘅，然後咧，踢命高佢同我動領咗張卡啦，佢話可以消費啦。係
啊，我咪話一定唔得，你可唔可以用下你個豬籠？黐下先，消費券佢嘅用途就係拎嚟振興香港經濟，拎啲錢俾外國做乜撚嘢？係啊，
你咪弱智啊你！你咪跛撚咗個腦啊你！你咪索撚咗啊你！
撚咗你一定 in game 貨先第一步，我已經同人哋我睇撚成。
索撚咗啦，佢黐撚咗線。
So far 高大都大機率啲，但係我唔知。
你諗住放咩啊？
咪放把線咯。
把線咯。
我就唔放啦，我有把黑小蝴蝶都爽，好撚爽。
我又唔放啦，我有把爪都。
媽媽真係嗰啲爪到。
係啊，
收皮啦！
我中意蝴蝶刀食多啲，我發覺。
收皮啦！
咩媽媽？
笑死！
收皮啦！
笑死！
嚇！我冇詆毀佢，我話媽媽啫喎。
收皮啦！
我冇詆毀你中意嘅嘢，只不過我同你講述緊我嘅招就啫。
唔需要接受你，唔需要你嘅評價。
係咩？我冇評價任何嘢，我只係同你講緊我照咁就。
唔需要你嘅感受，你嘅評價，你一切人唔需要。
咁我哋無法進行溝通喎 ，bro。唉，又要踢我，搞鳩我，街。
冇踢你，你唔好咁敏感得唔得啫？你咪有敏感肌啊你，變敏感牙齒啊你。
成身都敏感喎，敏感人士嚟㗎嘛。
你呢頭應該冇Samuel咁敏感。
我覺得。有未有？
你係咁點解你唔
答一個 decline？
你睇下你Alipay可唔可以放其他？唔係你用聽唔高放其他嘢，仲其他嘢去咩？
我今日用過啦，聽唔高。你消費者
有啲幫唔到你。
係啊，繁瑣係幾吸引。
搞啱嘅，幫到佢係。
係再見啦，拜拜。
如果你嘅話
咩啊？
冇嘢啊，拜拜。拜拜。
sitting with 51 points, Oxygen sitting with 30 points, everybody else right behind Oxygen. And it's crazy because in a game where there's some inconsistencies in a battle royale, the top teams do be pretty consistent.
It's been insane, honestly. The fact that these guys have been performing at this level and just not dropping a beat. I mean, look, Dark Zero, they were a little lower down if we're talking about winners bracket yesterday, but how is it that Zero just always shows up when it counts? 2 championships, just came off winning NA, the regional finals, and you've got to remember, this is possibly the strongest that NA has ever looked as well, right? They have 9 teams in this final lobby, the most representation they've ever had.
It's crazy. The NA is really coming out, but you saw the signs in the crowd, Apex South, Moist. They also need to come out. I know Gino, when the back was talking about Moist, how excited it would be to see them pop off. I know he's also a big fan of Dark Zero out here too, but it's about seeing those consistencies come alive in these games.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're both very exciting teams, honestly. The fraggers they have to surround those phenomenal IGLs. It's the same story for both teams, but it is for TSM as well.
While we get ready, NRG, sweet. Thinking what they have to do next to keep NRG on top. A team currently sitting in 10th place, looking at the series results right now to keep you guys up to date. For those of you guys now tuning in, welcome to Finals Day. Dark Zero currently sitting with 57 points, TSM 51, already at match point. These teams did start with some points in the bag after their performance yesterday, going all the way down and looking on the other side though. XSET, 17 points, sitting in 11. So many of these teams are Riddle Order, not having the game that they wanted for the first time on Storm Point. Now wondering, are there gonna be any contests to deny the opportunity from Dark Zero, TSM? I saw some friendly banter in the chat. Always fun to see. Sweet was wondering, you know, is OSRS gonna be available out here so I can put it on the side? Well, Sweet, you need to stay locked in right now. Dark Zero looking to continue their push from Mill over to the other side of the map. We're gonna have to see how this goes.
Storm Point, we've already seen one game. There was a late contest in it last time, Vicky, right? We saw over at Beans some teams running into each other. A little bit of a weird one with the teams sort of looting the separate areas and then coming together over at the Armory. Let's see if those teams play this out a little bit differently this time. We've got a south to north drop ship. Always wondering about that. Is it close enough to Lightning Rod? Do they have to worry about the gravity cannons? Is one of the biggest points, honestly, when you're thinking about the dropship halving over here on Storm Point.
Crowd getting excited now. Following through for our fourth game here. Second game on Storm Point. We've already seen wins from TSM, FC Destroy, and Dark Zero. Can they do it again? Taking a look at what we may see from early game action after what we already saw in the Armory last game. So chaotic to see how that was put down between Geo, perhaps Riddle Order here. Command Center also being the hot zone here for a lot of these squads. Moist is going to be able to definitely benefit off of that with some great loot, depending on where this circle is going to be going.
Yeah, I'll have to see where it does. Obviously,
It should be a good one for them, but we've got Rrrr and Gumbre. Once again, they're going into similar positions. Gumbre are going to take the armor cave. There's a couple of bins there. Often has very good high-level armor in it. You can see early shots, and Rrrr take the more traditional bean start.
And being able to do the Trident, huge here for the future rotation that we're going to be able to see from that team. Rrrr Order, again, splitting up that loot. Also nice to know that Mill has a lot of information between the survey beacon and the ring console for Dark Zero to benefit from. And we are moving down south out here towards Shipfall, so KCP having the circle advantage in their POI.
It's definitely going to be a shipfall zone. It has swung as southerly as it possibly can here. We might even get one of those fun ones. Well, I call it fun. The players have a few words to say about that, but where it ends, like well out near the destroyed ship in the water. Tridents become very important at this point because you need that cover to take it. Now, it looks like Rrrr have managed to get into the armory this time. Will Geo wait for them on the outside? Will they try something a little bit different this time? You can see they've got the Trident, so if they wanted to, they could just make that quick rotation all the way down south.
We get to see the side-by-side with Geo already rotating with their Trident too. Get some extra damage onto the flyer. That evil shield if you can.
I also like how they've got the sort of budget Gibby shield there.
Oh, right? Yeah, it's a windshield.
Yeah.
It's a windshield. Let's see who's going to be roadkill for Geo. And Dark Zero on the other side as well, already rotating with their own Trident. You mentioned it perfectly, looking at where this next circle is going to be, which Dark Zero already has the information for. They could utilize that Trident to not only get there faster, but to use it as some makeshift cover, like you mentioned, in case it does go out into the open. Sometimes these early rotates can be very detrimental.
This kind of a circle, by the way, if it does go all the way into that open water, could be fantastic for Newcastle teams. So just to, as a quick reminder of who's playing Newcastle here on Stormpoint, we've got Ascend, we've got FC Destroy, Gumbre Otosan, and we also have, no, actually that's it. So we've got, what, 3 teams there on the Newcastle, I believe. So those guys are going to be able to set up that cover. It's not quite permanent, but it will put them in good stead.
Definitely something that Ascend needs here if it works into their team composition. Currently sitting in last place as we take a look at Dark Zero, take it to the skies. They are getting shot at from the back because it really highlights how many teams have made their way into the south side of Shipfall.
Now, something that Dia was saying on the desk is very important here, right? Teams at this level know the rotations of the other teams. They should be essentially counting how many teams come in. Okay, 16 coming in. It should be Dark Zero. We know, you know, what spots they like to play. We know how long it's going to take them to make this sort of a rotation. And if teams are that switched on and they identify that correctly, they should be putting a little more stock in aggression towards TSM and towards Dark Zero, because otherwise we're going to be ending here in Game 4, Vicky.
Ooh, we got to see how this plays out. It's aside from the rotations too, it's also the team comp. Even though we've been seeing this comp that Dark Zero is running pretty frequently, so many of these other squads taking their time to rotate. Ooh, a nice little gold light mag here for Alliance to work with. But while they do defeat the Prowlers, they're going to be able to boost up their Evo Shield. This is a team that is going to be taking some time to rotate into that next circle as they do land in Lightning Rod, going right through Thunder Watch, looking on the other side, Fnatic also. That's why you're seeing so many teams with the Trident.
Doesn't bother them at all, though, does it? I mean, Alliance, that's why they land Lightning Rod. They like to play Edge. They want to craft play that PvE game first, because as we saw, the smart loot from the Prowlers is fantastic for getting them well stocked and ready when they do finally run into other teams. Black Hand might be in the way of Alliance. We'll have to see how they play this one out over at Launchpad, considering they had such a rough start with those contests over at Landslide.
Optic Gaming rotating through the mill, and guess who's nearby? It's going to be Gambare Otosan, who are going to be on the other side of mill, with a circle closing in here too. You can imagine a squad that would like to play on the edge of this side of the circle. Rrrr Order, Fire Viewers in Cenote Caves. Looks like the fight has already gotten started. Optic Gaming dropped, already rotating from the inside of the building.
Bang ult's going down. Are they trying to get out quickly? Oh, they better boost away! They're actually going to reverse! A nice little handbrake spin there with the mobile shield to get away. Someone's been watching Fast and the Furious.
No, they said skr, and they immediately rotated away from there. And it was a fight for the ring console too, by the way. That highlights Geo and Optic Gaming realizing the utility of Mill and what was provided to them there in that rotation.
I just love that. You know, we always say how great the movement mechanics are for APAC North, right? And we've seen a lot of shoddy Trident drivers. even at the pro level. Damn, dude, these guys gotta learn something from the APAC North, man. Flips the 180, instantly puts the mobile shield down. Those guys know how to make a getaway.
That was disgusting. And he even
Okay. Yeah, okay. I agree. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We could run through like bamboo and the bridge.
Yeah, do that.
Tower to be.
What?
What if someone's on the tower?
Someone's on the tower, then not sure to be honest with you. It'd be hard.
Did we see teams over here?
There's people shooting on tower right now. I don't know if there's teams over there. I didn't look.
Tower behind us. Jurassic. Yeah, there's a team tower.
They're going west barometer. Yeah, they hopped out here. I can't tell if the nut is taken or not.
The nut should be taken.
Well, they might have left the nut and went top barometer. That's the thing. Like I just can't really see it.
Evan, watch our back.
But there's people barometer. Nut. There's a team nut. We just have to chill and wait.
Yeah, there's still top barometer.
There's a team west barometer too. Just so dog shit. Trying to think here.
I mean, we could go in tennis side and try to play last team for the hill.
We could place. No, we can't. There was a team on that. I just don't know. Like that hill is like trash though.
Yeah, I know.
We can't even scout it unless we like walk up the spiders.
We only have like 2 options. We either walk up the spiders or we go in tennis side. Everything else is like not really a possibility.
I think we're gonna have to just walk up the spiders later in the game, but I don't know if we can even play that with. I don't even know if we can play that with top barometer.
Top barometer's in. Yeah. Wait, they might leave. They might leave off that scan.
Yeah.
You guys stare at that. They're still up top barometer right now. They're evacuating off top barometer.
That's a Valcolt. Oh, no. That's from top barometer. That is from top barometer.
Yeah, but that's another team. There's another team.
I think we go still out. Still there.
The barometer?
Yeah, I think we go barometer. Just walk in. We gotta get top barometer. Try to see if anyone flies in on or takes a zipline.
Trying to look.
There might be the team that shot them that was in barometer might be south barometer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't see anyone take them.
I think they're playing south barometer. The team that shot at them.
Yep.
It's not rotating open here, boys. Come over here. I don't have 2 for a bit.
Backpack here. Level 2.
Bag and a bruiser right next to it. I heard that Nemesis. Where was that Nemesis at?
I don't know, but I'm not worried about it. It's below. Wait, there's a guy on tower.
Yeah. What? I hear a car west of us. Car west of us. Go.